A public TV station could lose 70 years of history because its cloud provider disappeared, and that may be the clearest warning yet about who really controls your data. Welcome to the Automated Daily, Hacker News Edition, the podcast created by generative AI. It's August 13th, 2026, and I'm Trend Teller. Today, a major archive caught in cloud limbo, a fast food app that knows more than many people would like, a piece of hardware security research that digs below the operating system, a notable shift in Europe's yuan payment rails, and a surprisingly rich idea from mathematics. This episode is brought to you by 11 Labs. 11 Labs lets you discover the future of AI audio with cutting-edge voice technology. Find the link in the episode notes. We'll start with the cloud story because it's the one with the most immediate real-world consequences. 9PBS says it lost access to more than 50 terabytes of archival material, covering roughly 70 years of programming, after its storage provider went defunct. The dispute has now expanded to Iron Mountain, which reportedly holds the data but says ownership sits with the failed vendor. Why this matters is bigger than one station. It shows how fragile cloud arrangements can become when a middleman disappears. Backups are only reassuring if legal ownership, retrieval rights, and exit paths are crystal clear. Staying with data, but on the consumer side, Wired reported on what happened when a reporter asked McDonald's for his loyalty program records. He got a huge file back, including not just purchase history and app activity, but predictions about how often he would return, how much he might spend, and what he was likely to order. That is the part worth paying attention to. The issue isn't just data collection anymore, it's behavioral forecasting built into ordinary retail apps. For users, it's a reminder that convenience programs are often also surveillance systems, with a rewards layer on top. Next, a hardware security research project drew attention for showing how deep some system boundaries really go. The work focuses on DRAM address translation on older AMD hardware and argues that if you can manipulate the memory controller layer, you may be able to reach regions that are normally treated as protected, including areas tied to firmware and low-level system functions. The broader takeaway is simple. Security guarantees built at the OS level can look very different when the hardware underneath is part of the attack surface. It's a niche piece of research, but it underscores why low-level architecture still matters in modern security. In finance and infrastructure, China has authorized Deutsche Bank to clear renminbi transactions in Europe, with the operation centered in Frankfurt. That makes it the first foreign institution in Europe to take on that role there, instead of leaving renminbi clearing mainly to Chinese banks. Why it matters? Payment plumbing shapes trade. If companies can settle more easily in yuan, that supports China's long-running effort to expand the currency's international use and reduce dependence on dollar-based routes. It is one of those back-end changes that most people won't see directly, but large companies and banks absolutely will.
And to close on something more conceptual, one mathematical essay making the rounds looks at the set of all subsets of the natural numbers and shows that its ordering by inclusion is far richer than it first appears. The striking point is that this very simple-looking structure can encode an enormous range of different orderings, including every countable one, and even patterns as rich as the real line. Why is that interesting outside pure math? Because it's a reminder that simple foundations can hide surprising expressive power, which is a theme that shows up everywhere in computing too. Thanks to our sponsor, Lindy. Lindy is your ultimate AI assistant that proactively manages your inbox, meetings, and calendar, so you can focus on what actually matters. Find the link in the episode notes. That's it for today's Hacker News Edition. If one theme connected these stories, it's that the hidden structure underneath the system, whether that's storage contracts, recommendation models, memory controllers, payment rails, or even abstract sets, often matters more than the surface. Thanks for listening. Links to all stories are in the episode notes.